So the Portland Trail Blazers had a pretty eventful offseason. They had the third overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft, where they did take Scoot Henderson, and I think that was a really great pickup. I believe he should be in the conversation for the Rookie of the Year next season, but also they did get a trade request from Dame, who was essentially their best player for the last decade. Now, that came as a really big shocker to everyone because everyone knew Dame as the loyal person to his team, one of the more loyal players in the league, but coming out and saying that he wanted to trade out of Portland was definitely respectful in his decision, in the way that the Portland Trail Blazers, they had the third overall pick. They had the chance to trade it for some more assets to help Dame, but they didn't capitalize it, and they end up choosing a guy that could potentially lead their future when Dame or if Dame gets traded. So we're going to be talking about Dame to the Miami Heat because that's really the one team that Dame has been linked to. But also we're going to be talking about Dame and the Portland Trail Blazers as a team overall. So we'll start off with the Blazers. So there were a ton of rumors and speculation this summer where the Blazers landed the third overall pick, and some people thought that they would have traded it for some more assets to get more stars around Dame, which obviously was the more, I would say, more rational decision because, having Dame at 32, 33, he's going to be in his prime and going to be shifting out of it pretty soon. So why not capitalize on getting some more assets around Dame right now when he's in his peak? But the Blazers obviously chose Scoot, and we're in a situation right now where they have a pretty loaded backcourt with Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, and now Dame. So they have all four of these players, and Dame most likely is going to be the odd man out because he is the older of the three. And the Blazers, they have this new movement motion going on with their team right now. So I think Dame going to another team and getting some assets in exchange for Dame for the Portland Trail Blazers should be pretty good for this team. So we'll talk about Dame to the Miami Heat. So I know there was a ton of speculation and a ton of trade ideas for the Portland Trail Blazers trading Dame to the Heat, but what I'm seeing right here, and I remember putting the link in the description for this trade idea, but I'm looking at this right now. And the Heat, it says that the Heat are ready to offer a trade package that have 3 or 4 first-round picks and more in exchange for Dame. I'd imagine guys like Tyler Hero, guys like Kyle Lowry, those type of guys, maybe Jaime Jaquez, if I'm saying his name correct, someone like that, or a trade package like that could be interesting for the Portland Trail Blazers. But I know that the Blazers haven't been too enticed with the Tyler Hero package. And really the reason for that is because they already have Scoot, they already have Simons, they already have Shaedon Sharpe. So it wouldn't make too sense to have Tyler Hero on this team. So I know that they've been trying to get a third team involved. I think Brooklyn has been involved in that, but I'm not really too sure how that would go on and how that would work with Brooklyn being in the mix. But I think this would be a pretty interesting trade idea and a trade package for the Blazers and all teams considered with the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets involved. I think getting a Tyler Hero on the Brooklyn Nets would be a pretty cool addition. Getting a guy like a Damian Lillard on the Miami Heat could definitely, boost them back into the finals contention for next season. And for the Portland Trail Blazers, it definitely helps them with their rebuild, getting some more first-round picks and also some pretty good young players that have a lot of potential. So looking at Dame and his stats last season, essentially, he averaged around 32 points per game, around 5 rebounds, and around 7 assists. Shooting splits, he was very efficient, 46 from the field, 37 from the three, and then around 91 from the free throw line. So Dame, a player caliber like him, he definitely deserves a lot of assets in return for him. Picks specifically is really the biggest thing that I'm looking for the Portland Trail Blazers. So getting some first round picks in exchange for Dame, also getting some good vets, or not vets, but getting some good mix of vets and young players in the package would be pretty good too. So yeah, like I said, Dame has been linked with the Heat even before the trade package or the trade request came out. And I think the Miami Heat fit for Dame is definitely interesting. Now, looking at the Miami Heat, they got guys like Jimmy Butler, they got Bam Adebayo, Caleb Martin, those type of guys. And I would say that acquiring Dame would definitely be a huge help for this team. Kind of just like have that secondary guy with Jimmy Butler that can handle the ball, that can shoot, that can run the offense beside Jimmy. So I think that's really what they were missing in that finals run too, is that it was mostly just Jimmy Butler. And when guys like Caleb Martin ran out of gas, when guys like, or Tyler Hero wasn't really there, but guys like Bam, when he ran out of gas too, there really wasn't another guy beside Jimmy to really just jumpstart the offense. So I think Dame coming to the Heat could definitely help that a lot. And like I said, man, it could really boost them into the finals contention again next season, depending on what happens and, with injuries and stuff and signings on the offseason. So, yeah. Yes, let me know what you guys think about Dame to the Heat. I think it's definitely a really interesting idea. The trade packages and everything, and having a third team involved would be pretty cool. But the biggest thing I want to ask for this team, and if they trade for Dame, is he going to be able to fit in with the Heat well, and how long does the Dame, Jimmy Butler, and Bam trio work out for? Because Jimmy Butler, I want to say he's around like 32, 33. Dame is around 32, 33. They're getting up there in age. They're going to start regressing pretty soon. I mean, like guys like Harden, like guys like Russ, those guys are starting to regress in their late to mid 30s. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think Dame, he's still one of the best point guards in the league. Definitely not what he was before. I don't know. I think last season definitely was one of his strongest seasons. But if we're talking about top 5 point guards right now, I wouldn't have him anything more than 4, maybe 4 or 5 around there. So you guys can debate that in the comments, because I think Luka and Curry 1 and 2 right there. I wouldn't say Fox. I'd probably say Dame at 3, maybe 3 or 4 around there. So you guys can debate that in the comments. I don't really care, but yeah, I mean, Dame to the Heat just makes a lot of sense. Now in terms of going to another team, that's up for debate too. But I think the Heat just make a lot of sense with him, Dame, having that preferred destination in his mind, and also just him wanting to play for the Heat. So you guys let me know what you guys think about Dame to the Heat. Do you guys think it's a pretty good idea? What would a trade package look like? And that's the end for me. So I'm out.